Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video I wanted to continue updating my crafting guides. I had put this off for some time and my current guides are way out of date, but the reason I hadn't updated them until now was because they made so many changes to the crafting system, almost to change every patch since last summer. But now I think we're at a spot where I can update them in a little more meaningful, permanent way, at least for a while anyway. And let's be honest, there really isn't a whole lot going on right now in New World, so what better time to get it done? So in this one, we will be updating Furnishing. So let's get into it. So first thing we should have a look at, of course, is why furniture. Well, furnishing in New World is one of the most fun, profitable professions in the game, especially now with the introduction of music. As a furnisher, you will be able to craft very cool home decor, beds, tables, shelves, chairs, anything that you can imagine that would decorate your home, you will likely find in this trade skill. You will also be the one people turn to when they want storage chests made, which, as we all know, is always important because storage in this game can become an issue really fast for anyone who does not have the top tier chests. One of the main reasons, though, that anyone should want to level furnishing is, of course, trophies. As a furnisher, you will be the one to craft the major trophies for you, your company, or even to sell as a service or to craft and place on the market. Trophies are very important to every aspect of the game, from combat to gathering, even to fishing. A furniture maker will always be able to make some coin crafting these. And finally, now as a furnisher, you will be the one making the new musical instruments that have come to the game with the new musician trade skill. The guitar, the mandolin, the flute, the drums, these are all made by you. And right now the prices and demand are high, so no better time to max this skill. So let's get into the leveling. So this section is going to be quite different than it has been in the past. Generally with New World, we would break it down into sections 0 to 50, 100 to 150, stuff like that. Then list the most efficient and cheapest way to reach each benchmark before moving on to the next tier. Well, with all these changes they have made over the past few months, this has completely changed. Not quite as much as armoring when it comes to furnishing, but still quite different. So once again, I started on my new low-level alt and set out to see how much it truly has changed. I began by making one of everything, so that I could get the 3 times crafting experience bonus for furnishing, and a few things were becoming quite clear quite quickly. First, I will say, this is much better. The amount of experience you get for very little invested materials is huge. But the next thing you will notice quite quickly is that as a new furnisher, you will have very limited access to recipes because the vast majority of them are from learned schematics from drops from chests. So it quickly becomes very clear you will not be maxing this skill off of first time crafts. This doesn't, however, mean don't do them. This will save you a ton of coin early on and shorten the goalpost later, as you will see. So you will begin by making one of everything available to you. Simple, except of course for musical instruments. For these, make one of each, but then make an additional 10 of the one that's cheapest on your server. And I mean cheapest at the end game. This will likely be drums, but could also be the mandolin. Snail slime can be a bit more expensive in some cases than whiskers. But the important thing here to consider is the resonant hides versus pearls and stuff like that. So in my case, I went with drums. So I made one of everything except 10 drums, of course. Then as you level, you will unlock a few more recipes and simply continue your way through making one of everything. I won't list the materials just yet because while at this stage, they are very small amounts. You simply just work your way through your list, making one of everything as I said. The only important thing to keep in mind while doing this is as you unlock the higher tier instruments, continue making one of each, then 10 of the extra one of your choice. This will blow you away compared to the old days, and you will at very little real cost find yourself at 139 furnishing. Unfortunately, here is where you will hit the wall, unless you plan on going to the market and purchasing a million blueprints. You will be out of recipes and out of options for a good real ways to level. So at this point, you will want to buy the powder horn recipe. That's your best option, and you should make 59 powder horns exactly. This will of course require 885 gunpowder, 295 beeswax, and 59 animal horns. Then proceed to making these. This will then put you at 150 furnishing. This is where, if you remember how it used to be, things got very expensive and to be honest, almost impossible for a casual player in the short term. Well, I can tell you things have changed a lot. If you kept making one of everything, as I had told you should now have one of every epic instrument token, and 11 of your desired leveling one. In this case, of course, for me, drums. So what you want to simply do is make one of every virtuoso instrument, then followed by 10 more of the one of your choice. And that's it, you're completely done, and that's just how easy it was. The reason it was so easy now is quite simple. With the change, making your first time craft give you 3 times the experience. When you made one of each of the 5 instruments, you got the experience of making 15. And it only requires 25 virtuoso instruments crafts from 150 to 200. So, by using that to your advantage, you now only had to make a small fraction. Now I know instrument materials have some costs associated with them. No one said it would be free. But think of it this way, making a total of 15 instruments now versus the hundreds of thousands of coin that we had to spend in the old days grinding rugs or stains or powder horns, this is nothing. This is an amount of materials you can farm in a day if you really wanted to. So just so you're ready to make the required instruments, you will need 525 ironwood planks, 120 orichalcum ingots, 750 mahogany stain, 6 ebony fingerboards, 24 catfish whiskers, 6 iridescent inlays, 6 harmonious reeds, and 48 snail slime, and 66 resonant hides, and 6 pearl plectrums. Now I know, this list will seem long to a newer player, but it truly is mind-blowingly small. Just to remind those of you who are veterans, or to shed some light for the newer players, here's what it took not so long ago to get from 150 to 200. For example, at one time we used 42,212 silk, 14,075 silk weave, and 14,075 fibers, just from 150 to 200. Then you had the powder horn option. This was long touted as the cheapest. But head to your market now and check the price of 16,751 beeswax. And you'll quickly see that with these new options, you will max furnishing with a small fraction of the time and coin once required. So now that your furnishing is 200, what's next? Well, there's a ton of coin to be made. I've included links in the description to the routes I run for rare furniture schematics, trophy mats, and more. All of the items that you as a furniture maker will want to be farming. Because when you get these, you can craft trophies, rare furniture, chests, and sell them on the market and make a ton of coin. One thing a lot of people overlook is the benefit of incense. Now, as a 200 furniture maker, you can craft the highest quality of this, which is incredibly useful in almost any combat situation. And of course, craft and decorate your home. There's a lot of times in New World when we are waiting on content drops, and we really don't have a ton of exciting things to do. This is the time when you'll want to put your furniture skill to use and decorate your home in cool ways. Now, the biggest way to make money with your furniture skill will be by making golden steel storage chests. To learn this, you will need to find the schematic for it, and this won't be easy, as it is the rarest in the game. Or one of them if it isn't quite the rarest. It only drops from elite ancient chests and elite supply chests in level 50 plus zones, and the drop rate is extremely low. And when I say low, I mean it. 0.00023% low. And yep, you guessed it, it's not influenced by luck. You can also get it from tier 3 furniture aptitude crates, but this is not a way to go about getting it. When you open a tier 3 furniture aptitude crate, which doesn't come by cheap, you have 25% chance to receive a schematic, and there are 227 in the potential pool. So the chances of pulling this one are very, very low. You can, in a way, effectively double your chances of getting it, however, which I will admit isn't much when you're talking about the drop rate on this, but it is something. So when you loot an elite chest on game side, you roll. And if you roll the correct amount, you will access the loot bucket for the chance at the schematic for this chest. However, once this has been achieved, you will then have another roll game side that will randomly select one of the items in the bucket, which of course contains 22 items as seen on the screen. Now, if you look closely, you will notice something. Do you see it? 11 of these items are zone locked to Evan Scale reach. So what does this mean? If you farm elite chests outside of Evan Scale, you eliminate 11 items from your potential roll. So when you do get lucky and you roll to access this loot pool, you will have a lot less items in your random roll for the chest schematic. In any event, this will be very difficult and it will take some time. But in the end, it will pay off in a huge way. So be sure to hit those elite chests every day once you max the skill. Your wallet will thank you later. Okay guys, that's all for this one. I will be posting the weaponsmithing next. So until then, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.